Okay, so I'll show you some things here. Okay, this is how you get this up here. This is how, quit it. This is how this is all on your fender, okay? Like that. Here's your brake light out on this piece. Then you take 3 screws underneath the fender down here out. This comes off away from this. Then you take 2 screws out of your brake light here, right here, unplug it up here under your seat. You can pull that out from underneath the fender. That comes out. Then, if you notice, there's 2 holes just like for your brake light. All you got to do is take that brake light and boom, you put it in there and you can bolt it right back up. So I'm going to try to do that if I can figure out what screws I took out of there. And I will show you how it looks here in a second. I need to get gotta get a power ratchet. Okay. Don't crank them. Okay, so there. Voila. That takes care of your tail light, and the wire just lays up in there and feeds up through. So now I'm going to go ahead and deal with, I'm going to set that aside, and what I'm going to do here with these turn signals, I'm going to do like I did on the front. I'm going to just cut these wires right here to retain the plugs, and then I'm going to get my turn signals mounted on my other inner fender over there, my flush mounts, and then I will connect these plugs, because you just got to push down this one tab here and pull them off. And remember, write down that, you know, which side the green goes to. It goes to the right, and red to the left. To the left, to the left. And this wire that is left here, that is the license plate light up lamp, which I'm going to have to cut this, and I have a little small lamp I'm going to put on there so I'm still legal. So I'm going to go ahead and chop about that much of these off and get them wired onto the flush mounts, and go ahead and get my flush mounts mounted onto the other part of the fender. So I'll check in here in a minute. Okay, now to mount these flush mount turn signals, this is the rubber grommet that goes under the turn signal. Just use that as a template. Now this hole right here is the one the screw goes through. This one is the one the wire will go through. So you have to drill these 2 holes. And you got to be careful wherever you put this. You have this hole. Wherever that hole is, you have to be able to get a bolt in here. And you have to be able to screw a bolt, have enough clearance to screw a bolt out into the turn signal. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this on here, line it up, and get these drilled and screw the signals on. Okay, so I have my turn signals mounted on there like so. drilled my 2 holes for bolt-in wire on the back. Then I drilled these holes, one here to get my wire up through and in. And that gets it in. Now I did have to drill, this one goes right into the channel, the one on the right. I drilled several more holes through this honeycomb. 1, 2, 3 to get the left side over and into this channel right here. So now what I'm going to do, I got to work on my little license plate light up under here somewhere and get that in. Then I should be ready to start getting some stuff plugged in here. All right, took a little bit of time, but I got it on here. It looks awesome. I mean, KTM did a good job with making that so you could take all that junk off and kind of fit this, you know, back on. One thing I want to say is just be careful with the turn signal wiring, because the wires on these turn signals, there's a red and a black, and from the KTM plug back to the turn signals, it's red and black. So naturally you want to hook the red to the red and the black to the black, but you don't want to do that, because on this side of the plug they have a purple and a brown, and you have to, from the plug back, you have to put the red to your black on the turn signal and the black to the red before the plug on both sides, so everything works. So there's a look at it from the side. You can see tail light tucked way up underneath there very nicely. Here's my little license plate lamp, and of course there's the turn signals on the back. Now a lot of guys don't like those small signals for visibility, but I don't mind it. Now you can kind of see it with everything together with all the orange. Looks pretty sweet. Those turn signals, that for me was about, oh, I'm gonna say a strong hour project, just till you get everything off, figured out, cut, wired, spliced in. Another thing, it's a little tough underneath the seat here because I ended up with a little bit longer wire, and this is the tolerance under this seat is very minimal for where that seat pan has to sit down on everything. So you got to get the wires, finagle them around in there so they are tucked down very tight, so your seat goes on and off easily and is not in contact with them. So keep that in mind. Like, subscribe, put some new turn signals on your bike, and get outside. See ya.